Bro, I'm thinking about my worst enemy right now. I'm thinking about my worst enemy in my head. I just have a picture of them. I wouldn't even wish heartbreak on this person. Like, heartbreak is one of those excruciatingly painful human experiences that just has you sick. Bro, you'd be waking up sick, you'd be going to sleep sick. The entire time you're just alive is just one of the worst feelings ever. But, having said that, I think two things can be true at once. And I think that heartbreak has the potential, not a guarantee, but a potential to be one of the most transformative things that you will ever experience. And that is what the point of this video is here today. So strap in and let's start talking. All right. So first and foremost, I don't want to invalidate anyone's feelings that's watching this. Like, if you are currently going through heartbreak, I know how much it sucks. Trust me, I know. And this video isn't some type of like sell you a course, sell you false hope, happiness, whatever. It sucks. Let it suck. I know you hate the saying, give it time, but trust me, give it time. What I really want to emphasize here in this video is how there really is a crossroads after a breakup. Like, you can turn this into something that's beneficial and you can turn it into something that's negative. And I really want us to stay the course of making this something that's beneficial for us. And I want to start off first and foremost with an analogy here. So I want you to think of a relationship as two people tending to a pot of flowers. Now, with this pot of flowers, like in any relationship, you start off and you're tending to it, you're putting the seeds in, you're picking the right soil, watering it, making sure it gets sun. But then after a breakup happens, you're left with all these tools, all this water, all this soil, all this love, all this energy, all this investment. And where do you put it? The answer is not back into that pot, because as soon as that person or you decide to step away from that relationship, that pot is dead. There's no more flowers to tend to, right? And the answer certainly isn't a completely different type of pot, like going and hooking up with someone else or jumping into a rebound relationship. That's for a whole nother video, but you are bound to hurt yourself and hurt the other person if you go and do that route. The correct answer, I'd argue, is invest all that love and energy and time back into yourself. All right, now, what does that even mean, to invest all that love back into yourself? That can look like a wide variety of things. First of all, I know that you're asking, think of one thing, one minimum thing that you either put off or you just didn't do at all, or you just didn't pay attention to because of the relationship. And it's not because that person was a bad person, but bro, like when you're in a relationship, you don't have as much time, you don't have as much energy. You're literally sharing and building a bond with a completely other person other than yourself. So it makes sense. But I know you can think of one thing that you can now do because you're not in that relationship anymore. And I'm not saying go crazy and drinking and drugs and clubs. I'm talking like, man, maybe you were putting your master's off to the side, or maybe going back to school, or maybe you wanted to go skydiving, or maybe you really loved going to the gym, but you couldn't do as much because your partner wouldn't let you. Am I projecting? Yes. Will I talk about this more later in the video? Yes. But staying on course here, there's stuff that you probably put aside that now you can do. And not only that, like, I think a lot of times, like, people who tend to bounce between relationships, they never really love themselves. And I think you have these problems that start to grow and grow and grow and kind of exacerbate on themselves. But anyways, I think that this is a perfect time for you to love yourself. And it can look like a wide variety of things, like I said, but just don't jump into something right away, and don't like grieve it. Trust me, like grieve it, like let it get out of your system for, I don't even want to say for as long as you need to. Like, put a mental timer for yourself. Like, do things sad, like go to the gym sad, go on a walk sad, show up to work sad, and miss them, right? But like, don't keep yourself in mull and dull over it, because, and I know you may not want to hear this, but what are the chances that they're doing that? What are the chances that they're crying in bed or looking through pictures or, mulling over it as much as you are? It's probably not the same. With that being said, I personally think everyone heals differently, but I personally think it's one of the cringiest things when people are like, and guys do this a lot, right? They'll be like, I'm gonna go lift some weights and I'm gonna prove her wrong, or I'm gonna go run my money up and she's gonna wish she never left me. Dude, don't do stuff like like you're never gonna be happy if you're doing stuff out of spite for other people. And like I've been there, dude. Like revenge is like one of the best motivators ever. Like I'm not going to pretend that it's not, but like you will, I truly believe like you will never actually get over this person if you continue after the breakup to do things to get their attention or to make them jealous or to make them angry or to, make them regretful. Like just, and I know this sounds super simple, but just do you, just work on yourself, improve your health, improve your wealth, improve your mental, like work on those three things at a minimum, and you will be in a much better spot to where if you do it for yourself, you'll have that same like desire of trying to make them feel jealous without having to actually having to give them that energy, that mental energy that you already have probably spent so much on, or maybe still spending on them. And with that being said, I love saying that, but with that being said, let's head to the trauma closet for a little story time. All right, so in my last relationship, right, I really like for the longest time ever, I wanted to go skydiving, and in my last relationship, she was really against that. Like verbatim was like, if you even bring it up again, because I would always say like how I want to go, and she's like, if you bring it up again, I'm gonna break up with you. If you do it, I'm gonna break up with you. And like at the time, like I know someone could argue like, hey, like she just doesn't want to see you die, whatever, like, and stuff like that. But also like for someone to say something that bold, that strong, like it really didn't sit with me well. And I'm kind of sharing a little bit too much here, but like I think that it's something that I'm going to do. Like I'm going to go skydiving. It's like it's not the safest thing ever, but it's also not the most dangerous thing ever. And like I think that's something that I really wanted to do, and I thought about, I'm like, huh. And it gets a little bit deeper than that too. Like I think this person was so anti-activity, like anything, like swimming, going on walks, going to the gym, and like that's totally fine for her. But for me, like I thought that like while it wasn't like she wouldn't let me do those things, I also felt like damn, like I want to do that with my partner, like I want to do that with the person that I love the most, right? And I wasn't able to do any of those things because when I would mention them and be like, oh, like are you saying that I need to exercise and yada yada yada, and like that really was just like a frustrating thing to experience. And now that like I'm not in that relationship anymore, I have all the time in the world to go to the gym without having to worry about like, it's not even having to worry about not being able to go, because again, it's not like she didn't let me go, but it's one of those things where it's like it's a different feeling. Like you don't have to worry about, man, like I wish I was in a relationship that let me do that, because you're not in that relationship anymore. Like you're just focusing on yourself. And now another thing is like career progression is super important to me. And I was like, dang, like I didn't expect to find someone that I love so much in this new city, and like now I don't know about moving. But now that I'm not in that relationship anymore, like not that I don't have to worry about that anymore, but like I also am like, it's not even like that much of an emotional connection to the city because I'm not with that person anymore, so it's not that big of a worry. So I think hopefully this gives you a little bit of perspective of like a real life example where it's like, okay, like hopefully the gears in your head are starting to kick, like, huh, like that relationship, yeah, it was good for sure, but like there are also things that like I feel like I couldn't fully express for myself out of fear for the other person. And it could literally like start with something super simple, like, man, I love watching scary movies, or I love going to the movies, but this person didn't, you know what I mean? Or man, like now I can save a little bit more money because I don't have to drive all the way to see this person. Or man, now I don't have to see their friend that really I was not a fan of. And there's so many ways that you can think of, but I think that's enough sharing for now. Alrighty, now that we're back from the closet, I just want to put a proper ribbon on this video and say, look, it sucks right now, and I'm not trying to say that this is some like easy night and day switch, but I do think the worse off you were in that relationship, as backwards as it sounds, the better off you are without that person, right? Like if that relationship was super bad, there's so much potential for you to actually transform your life, especially if this person was holding you back. And it's a little bit harder when you feel like it was a really good relationship and that it shouldn't have ended. But even then, there is beauty in loss, and you just need to look for it. And I promise you, I'll leave you with this one little note. Like that door closing with that person, even if you didn't want it to close, even if you were forcefully shut out, that is turning your back to now an endless amount of opportunities. And it's not only another person. If that's what makes you feel better, sure. Like you close that door and now there's a different other plethora of people that you could be with. But it's also about opportunities of who you can be outside that relationship. And with that being said, that is all I have to share with you today about this topic. I love you guys very much. To whoever may be watching this, even if it's just one person. If you want to see more videos like this, stay tuned, subscribe. I drop a video every Sunday, so I'll see you on the next one.